and it's a terrible thing to say. But yes, because from the point of view of the English people are there. But if we're seeing is the English people, the Islamics, and all the other members of society walking as well in the same protest, wouldn't that be something?
Prove to me that you are alive.
What is really good, everyone? Welcome to Prove to Me That You're Alive Lightcast, which is a podcast, and I'm your host, NazareN. I have to say this because Google AI cannot get it right, man. So I have to say this once again. Prove to me that you're alive. We call it a lightcast. It's a podcast. I'm your host, NazareN. I'm gonna skip the intros today because I want to kind of bring everyone up to the point, like why we are here, why we keep returning to this point, why we keep talking about this. So I would encourage everyone to go back and follow this series. It's been a long series of Alan Tait and the screaming children and everything that happened in Ammanford. So please go follow the series. To catch you up, I want to say that back in 2018, Alan Tait and his wonderful life partner, wife, came across something horrific. They heard noises coming from the building that they were living in, coming from the basement area. It was a freaky thing. They started to record. They didn't know if they're just hearing things, if they're whatever, but soon enough they realized that something was happening. They did not know how major this was. One of the videos, as far as I remember, went viral on TikTok. A lot of people started to contact Alan, and a lot of people wanted to come down and see. Well, the brave ones did. Shout out to David Vodonyuk, our dear friend. He was one of these people that came down and checked out, and he was able to say, yes, I hear the same thing. Yes, these are children in distress. Obviously, when you hear the recordings, there's no mistake about it. These are children in distress. These are just horrible events that are happening in a semi quiet little town in Wales. So Alan Tait once again is here. He has been on a journey. I want to stress this because ever since then, this is what I really wanted to say. Ever since 2018, Alan Tait and his wonderful wife had to put their life on hold and focus on this mission solely. This has been their life for the past 7 years. I also have to say they are super wonderful folks. They do all kinds of wonderful things for the community wherever they are at. They go to the soup kitchen, they help out the homeless. They're just all around super great people. And they've been on this mission and they're not giving up, and they're not selling you anything. They're not pushing anything down your throat. Their mission is to get justice for these children, and this is exactly why I am here. This is exactly why I've been super super grateful to Alan for even allowing me to cover this story, man. So without further ado, Alan Tait is back. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. We've been trying to set something up, and you got a new microphone. It sounded amazing. For some reason, we can't get it to work, but it's okay. The most important thing is that you're here. So Alan, I wanted to get I'm gonna have you here just for a little bit this time because we want to get the technical part straightened out. This I really wanted to, because again, like we did the whole response to Void the Warlock, and I know you wanted to say some extra things back to him, so we can kind of get into that, but I wanted to get into you and everything you've been going through. So can you catch us up with, because I know you have, and maybe I didn't mention it in the intro, you have a channel now also. Like, what is going on with that? What have you been doing with that? And what are you trying to do with that? And maybe we can help.
Okay, I mean, I presume you're talking about either the YouTube channel. I got Twitter. I'm on TikTok as well. I post videos just to raise awareness, nothing more than that. If I learn something new, I post that. And if I learn something that would contradict anything that we already knew, I'd post that as well.
Okay, that's super great. So what is the name of the channel? Like, how can people find it?
It's me, YouTube. I don't know.
Is it Alan Tate on YouTube? Is that what it is?
I think it's Alan Tate, Ammanford, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna no, it's okay. I'm gonna actually look it up now because I want to make sure that like that we know about it and that
Well,
that people are tuning in, man. Yeah,
I'm
so
going to send you a link in it.
It's Alan Tate and it's Alan Tate. Yep. You just basically look it up, Alan Tate. Um what's I'm gonna call it? What I wanted to ask you, and this is gonna be outside of the outside of your mission, but I really want to know what is going and but I think this affects everything that you've been doing. What is going on in the UK right now? And we remember that is it Tony Robinson or Tommy Robinson? I always keep confusing them.
His name's Tommy Robertson.
Tommy Robinson, man. I followed the man. I actually been trying to contact him because I wanted to get a chance to talk to him. Because I like what he's doing. I like what he's standing up for his country. So, but I'm not from the UK. So, what was going on with all of the? I don't know if it was a protest, if it was a Million Man March, whatever it was. It happened a couple of weeks ago. And what is the situation and energy like in the UK right now?
Okay, we went for a drive earlier on. We drove about, I don't know, 10 miles, something like that. And it's like all the streets have got England flags everywhere. It's unusual. As far as Tommy Robinson's concerned, he's a journalist. He's against the rape of children and women, and quite rightly so. The government appear to, or the police, or both, appear to have covered it up. Lots and lots and lots of people are concerned about it, and that's quite right, in my opinion. And the march was in London. There's varying disputes about the figures of people that were there, but I looked at it. There's at least 200,000 people there. There was lots and lots of people there.
That's wonderful. So you as someone that's from the UK, you seen your share of different prime ministers and different historic events. Um, you know, so what do you think is the main issue with the UK society as of right now? I mean, you guys have always had your turmoils as far as in Ireland and Scotland and Wales and all of these different parts of the UK. But from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is what Tommy Robinson is speaking about, it's not because the way they try to portray it over here is that it's a religious thing or that it's a race thing or because you have all of these immigrants from these different countries, Arabic countries are coming, that they're completely outside of the culture and they don't want to assimilate as far as the way that immigrants used to do back in the day. Like, am I in the right vicinity? Like, what exactly is the huge issue? You did say obviously kids are getting hurt. There's molestations going on, there's different so from your take, from someone that's lived it, you're from there, what do you think is the main issue you guys are facing right now?
I think the main issue is the news press. It's the disinformation. They try to divide both sides. So on the one side, you've got the alleged far right, you've got the leftists, and then they try to break it down by religion, racism. But it's not like that. I mean, Tommy Robinson, from the little I know about him, he grew up in Luton, didn't he? Luton's, there's lots of Asian people there. He openly says he's got Asian friends. I don't see it as a racist thing, other than nobody, well, no right-minded person likes rapists or anybody that abuses children. It's wrong. It's as simple as that. It should be stopped. There's a lot about rape gangs in the UK, and the fact it was covered up by the police. I mean, that's wrong as well.
Have you seen yourself? Can you concur? Like, has society been changing in UK in the past, I don't know, decade or so?
Personally, I think so. I don't know why we tolerate what's going on at the moment. I heard Trump talk the other day about using the military to send the migrants back. Well, I mean, a lot of the migrants are just people looking for a better life. I get that. But the undocumented ones that come in, that go on to commit serious crimes, that's where the problem lies. That and the government's lack of ability to do anything. We put them up in hotels. We give them accommodation, money, things like that. That's right and proper. If the immigrants right and proper, like they're just trying to get a better life, I fully understand all of that. It's the ones that come in undocumented that are the problem.
And plus, from what I understand, again, the big issue is that there's no more assimilation going on. So basically, someone comes over, they're not trying to become part of the UK society. It's like they're almost bringing their society into your homeland and trying to reconstruct it, to fit them. Is that kind of like? Do you see that?
I don't see any evidence of that. Yes, it's been reported in the newspapers, but where I am, I go into all sorts of shops. I quite like certain foreign foods. So we've got like a Polish food by us, some guys that are Bulgarian. Chris likes bean soup, so we go in there every so often. No, I don't see any sort of racism. I mean, some people, you go into a shop sometimes. When the Polish thing was on, when everybody was saying how bad the Polish people were, we went into a Polish shop. They looked a bit apprehensive the fact we'd gone in there,
Hmm.
but everyone's good as gold. We just study up.
I'm so glad that you say that because it's something that I've been really trying to tell people that we are at a time right now where we are being divided further and longer. And I think the whole thing that happened in the States with Charlie Tate, and the way it happened is, on the 9th, they tell us about the Ukrainian girl refugee that got killed. Then on the 10th, we see these horrible visuals of a young man, his neck blowing up. And then we hear about Russian drones going into Poland, and it's constant bombardment. And I think what is going on is that, and you pointed it out correctly, is that the media is controlling the narrative in order to just divide us further and further, because when they get us into our little corners of our world views, we are much easier controlled. So you, as a UK citizen, what do you want to see happen? Like, what do you like? Are you backing what Tommy is trying to do, and what do you wish to see happen?
I just like a peaceful outcome. I think the migrant problem has got out of hand. I don't think the UK can actually keep taking these migrants. Something has to happen. The cost is enormous, especially when we can't sort of home our own homeless people. Do I support Tommy Robinson? I support. I've never stopped to think about it. I've listened to the man. I definitely support what he says. To my mind, he is actually a journalist. Um, he seems to speak sense. People raping people, it just can't be. You can't have that in society. And when you're starting raping youngsters and children, that's just wrong, plain wrong. And
Um, do you see the same issue with all the Ukrainian um, immigrants that are coming over? Like, is that also a big part of it? Because you guys been slammed hard with people running from Ukraine, or is it mostly people that coming from Muslim countries, or is it a little bit of everything?
never stop to think about it. I think generally in the area that I am, they're fairly tolerant. They especially were of Ukrainians. Sorry, you saw Ukrainian flags flying. They seem to be tolerated in society, or at least tolerated. Sorry, that's the wrong word to use. Tolerated. That's bad. I mean, integrated into society. Yeah, they're friendly enough. We're friendly enough. That's about it. It's what people are about, though, isn't it? Yeah. And why should we have Ukrainians and English people and French people and African people? Why can't we just have people?
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. This is exactly why I love who you are, man. So I'm just gonna ask like one more question on this topic, and then you can fill us in on what's going on with you. Uh, what is going on as far as the freedom of speech in the UK? Because I don't know, like it's hard to kind of get through all the information over here in America and kind of see, is it really that bad? Is it? I mean, I talked to you, I talked to David, but just if you can kind of summarize for the people, is there a huge issue with the freedom of speech, and is it getting worse?
Yes, and yes. I mean, it's as simple as that as well. You can't talk about certain subjects. As for instance, people get arrested in the street if they sort of try to protest in favour of Palestine. Um, it's crazy. But no, to my view, this country is heavily censored. You only have to look at the number of people that have been put in prison for making tweets. I get that some of the tweets are wrong. I agree that some of them do incite violence. Yes, they do. But there are much more serious criminals about.
Right, right, man. And I just remember this. Didn't Tommy Robinson get arrested at some point? Wasn't he gonna go to jail for some time?
I don't know a lot about the man. Yes, he did go to jail. I know he went to jail. He spent, it was all in solitary confinement as well.
Hmm.
It was good. It should never have happened to a human being. But yes, he did spend, do you know how long he spent in jail?
Yeah, that's because I thought he was going in for like a while, and so this is the
If
last
memory
question.
serves, if memory serves me right,
Mhm.
he did about 12 months, and it was
Okay.
for contempt of court.
Yeah, I guess when you don't, pay attention every day, the time goes by quick. Last question on this topic. When you had the marches and everything, and you're saying that you're seeing, British flags and everything, are you finally having a feeling like the country's coming together again?
That's an interesting question. I mean, yes and no. I mean, that sounds a terrible thing to say, but yes, because from the point of view of the English people are there. But if we're seeing is the English people, the Islamics, and all the other members of society walking as well in the same protest, wouldn't that be something?
Prove to me that you are alive.